having a dope-ass day today. It's your boy Alex, and I'm back today with another reaction video with some more Jordan Peterson. Now, for those of y'all that are already getting triggered saying, all you do is these political videos now. Dude, chill. Slap your own ass. It's been 16 videos since I put out a last Jordan Peterson reaction, and I wanted to watch it. So, that's what we're doing today. We got a student tries to frame Jordan Peterson. Instantly disproven from Lafayette University. So, that's what we're gonna do today. And frankly, I think it's fucking awesome how internet videos can trigger so many people out there. Y'all ready? Me too, let's go.
So the idea that I've put thought into this is perhaps an optimistic one, but as you might imagine, you've been...
My boy starts this video off by saying the thought that what did he say? The fuck did you just say?
So the idea that I've put thought into this is perhaps an optimistic one.
The idea that I've put thought into this is an optimistic one? So yeah. You didn't put any thought into this? Yeah, this is starting off strong.
But as you might imagine, you've been a topic of conversation on this campus a lot in the past week or so, certainly among a lot of us who discuss politics. And one of the things that sort of united people who like and dislike a lot of your ideas is that we appreciate your defense of free speech, and we appreciate you coming here to talk about it with us.
Okay.
But one of the things I thought was really interesting is Professor Van Dyke addressed the distinction between you and Jonathan Haidt. And you mentioned this as sort of a temperamental one.
Who the hell is Jonathan Haidt? Let's look it up! Social psychologist. Okay, cool. I have no idea who he is. I never heard of the guy. Maybe that's someone I should check out. I don't know. Nonetheless, it's badass that this professor for the college is bringing in Jordan Peterson. That's fucking sick.
I'm sure that's true to some extent, but I noticed you've made a lot of more sort of substantively inflammatory claims. Like, in the course of this lecture, you called the authors of Facebook posts demons and totalitarians. In past events, you've called them things like neo-Marxists, cultural Marxists. You've called them, I believe, a fifth column that is committing treason against the West. And it seems to me this is more than temperamental. This is a substantive difference. And
it's a substantive difference,
and,
yes.
And another thing you've done is that, unlike Haidt, you have a more sort of comprehensive political program. You've talked a lot in defense of traditional hierarchies, both of gender, of class, so on, though emphatically not of race. And so it seems that...
I haven't talked about defense of traditional hierarchies in terms of gender and class. That's not true.
Well, you've talked about hierarchies in society. You've talked
about...
Yeah,
that's true. I have done that. But I haven't justified them on the basis of gender and class. Whatever, the two categories.
You talk
not
about,
okay. That's an important distinction.
Okay, but you defend hierarchies in society in a way that... You talk a lot about the Pareto distribution, yes?
That doesn't mean I defend it.
Well, okay.
Okay.
Yes. Well, I mean...
What are you doing, student? Slap your ass! Part of me is like feels for Jordan Peterson because I feel like the majority of the conversation that he encounters with people is just him defending himself. He's got to just constantly be like, no, whoops. He's got to constantly be like, no, I didn't say that, or yeah, I did say that, or no, you got that wrong. It's just like, dude, that's, I don't know. I don't even know.
I think you talk
Observing that something exists is not the same as defending it.
How in the world?
Well, people attack it, right?
What's that?
And you don't. People attack it.
Attack
inherently attack the hierarchies of society as inherently unjust.
That's the stupidest thing I ever heard. You don't attack it, so that must mean that you are an advocate of it. I have not attacked Adolf Hitler in 2 weeks. So these last 2 weeks, I'm a proponent for his behavior. You dumbass. What are you saying? Stupidest argument I ever heard.
Well, they're unjust, but they're also useful.
Okay, so you say they're useful. Some
well,
people would disagree with that proposition.
Okay, look at it this way. You obviously think that it's worthwhile to stand up and ask a question.
Yes.
Right.
So you think that standing up and asking a question is better than not standing up and asking a question.
Yes.
Okay, that's a hierarchy.
Yes.
Of values.
Yes.
Okay, without the hierarchy of values, you couldn't act.
Of course.
No, not of course.
Well, wait.
It's partly why I'm defending the hierarchy. Without a hierarchy, there's no impetus to act.
This student does exactly what I hate, bro. It's like, you're not listening to what Jordan Peterson is saying. You are pre-planning what you're going to say next. I got tons of people, tons of friends and family, not tons, but I've encountered people, right, that do that, where they are not actually listening to the other person, to the opposition. In this case, they are just formulating what they're going to say next. So it's like, listen, stop talking, dude. Sometimes saying less is saying more.
Hierarchy, right?
What's that?
There is a hierarchy in society, right?
No, there's multiple hierarchies in
society. Okay, there are multiple
society.
hierarchies in society, right?
Yes.
And you say that they are based in, you invoke the lobster, right? That they are based in nature.
Yes. I said that they were inevitable.
Yes,
yes.
that they were inevitable. Some people disagree with that.
That doesn't mean that they're good.
But my point is that, this is generally relevant to it, you have a broader point than free speech. This is one of the things you talk about, yes?
What?
Yes.
Okay. Whereas I think there are some other activists who focus on more exclusively
I'm not
on
an
free
activist.
Speech. There's some other individuals who engage in public political speech. Okay.
Yeah.
Who focus more exclusively on free speech, whereas you have other goals in mind. But one of the things that your more inflammatory language, and it's fair, it's a substantive disagreement, has done, I think, is it's politicized this free speech to an extent that someone like Haidt hasn't. I've noticed that when someone hears the term free speech now, they associate it with a specific set of thinkers, often as viewed as on the extreme right. And I think arguably that's the problem of all factions in society, because free speech should be a universal value. Polls certainly suggest that it's coming under increasing threat from both sides. But I suppose the heart of my question, in addition to, of course, these other observations, is that... You
haven't gotten to your damn question yet? It's been 4 minutes! 4 minutes of preface? I need to blow my damn nose. I'm gonna need to get a haircut before this dude gets to his argument. Or his question, rather. Jesus.
Do you believe free speech is your primary end, or do you believe these other points you're making are important? Because I've heard you a bunch of times defend free speech sort of contextually, like you've complained about some of the laws in Canada that you dislike, that they institutionalize false facts into the law. But it seems to me that an absolutist defense of free speech makes no preference as to true or false. The point is that's something you are being forced to say something. It would be as bad as if you were forced to say something that is true, because the point of free speech is that you can say whatever you want, right?
No, the point of free speech is so that you can think your way through life without running headlong into a brick wall.
But being told to think position A versus position B is just as bad.
The kid is not letting him finish his sentence, dude. It pisses me off. I hate that, bro. And it's also like, hey, here's preface, here's everything that you've done wrong, here's my question, but also because you've done this, it's like he's trying to answer the question that he's asking. Let the dude who you want to answer the question answer the question.
Right? Even if one is true and the other is not.
Okay, well, there was a bunch of questions.
Yes.
Good job, by the way.
Well, actually, wait, can I just ask one additional addendum? Which is, I think the politicization of free speech is by far the biggest threat to free speech, because this is always been...
the radical leftists are the biggest threat to free speech.
So this is a disagreement.
But I get your point.
The professor alluded to in previous questions, the substantive threats to free speech in much of the world, in Europe certainly, I think in the United States as well, from the government, have come from the radical right. And I think it's fair to say that on the specific narrow subset of certain departments on liberal arts colleges, it's fair to say a threat comes from the left, though its scope is in dispute. But my question is, do you think that the way you talk about free speech, the way you link it to specific issues, the way you use inflammatory language, and the way you seem to make it, you seem to defend a specific set of free speech. There are certainly plenty of instances of free speech attacked on the other side.
Oh my God.
You don't mention as much. Do you think you risk politicizing this? Because it seems to me
yes.
that... Okay, and do you not think that's a far greater threat? Because, for example, the NRA... Well, sorry, the NRA is a group in the United States that defends guns rights, right?
Okay, hold it.
Yes.
Jordan just answered this, like, how about you stop wasting everybody's time with this bullshit and you ask the question and get a direct response? And then you can talk about it. The kid bugs me, man. That's my free speech. The kid fucking bugs me. I don't care what his views are. The way that he addresses things bothers me. It's annoying.
Right.
Okay, hold it. Hold it. We need a question.
Yes. Okay.
I mean, like I said, you're doing fine, but it's just too much. Like, I can't keep it straight.
Do you think that your behavior risks politicizing it, and do you think that politicization is justified?
I think my behavior risks politicizing it, yes. I would rather it not be politicized, and I'm doing what I can to manage that risk. However, it's become political in my country because the government implemented compelled speech legislation. So I wasn't complaining about that before it became political. Now,
that's the whole thing too, right? Like, that's the heart of the argument. That's a lot of people say that Jordan Peterson is anti-trans or transphobic or something like that because he's unwilling to use the pronouns. It's not that. It's the fact that he's not willing to get on board with compelled speech from the government.
Even when you're detached in some sense from the political realm that you can't
Allergies are
be
fucking
detached
me.
anymore. Well, I'm not happy with the fact that this has become politicized. You could say that I haven't done a stellar job in ensuring in every possible manner that this has remained neutrally apolitical. Probably true, but I'm not particularly unhappy with the way things have gone so far. And I'm not happy with the radical left. And so if they're irritated at me, so much the better, as far as I'm concerned. So have I conducted myself perfectly? It's like, undoubtedly no. So I've got more than my fair share of faults.
It's a breath of fresh air hearing him talk. It's like someone that actually knows how to have a conversation. Thank God.
I'm muddling through.
Okay. Okay. Well, there was that. Without getting into the political side of it, dude, like, I don't like to get into the politics of things or my personal beliefs, so we're gonna dive into the comments and we're gonna have some fun. The kid is the definition of talking a lot and not saying anything. That's 100% right. Like, I pride myself on, you guys may think this is contrary to what actually happens, but seriously, in real life, I am very quiet. I refrain from talking. I listen more than I talk, and I just like to say things whenever they mean something to me. I don't like the way the kid handled that initially, where he says a bunch of random shit and it's like, dude, you're saying so much. You're talking so much, but you're not saying anything at all. 100% agree with that comment. He could have absolutely destroyed this boy, but he didn't, which shows true compassion. That's interesting. I mean, Jordan Peterson definitely could have destroyed him and been more combative, but wasn't for sure. The kid is not asking questions. Actually, he's giving a speech and confused himself. No, the radical leftists are the biggest threat to free speech. I must say I love how quickly he thinks on his feet and how clever his responses are. He's very quick. I respect that. Regardless of what side you're on, regardless of your political beliefs, quickness I can appreciate. If it's clever quickness, I really appreciate that. Just because you're offended doesn't make you right, Ricky Gervais.
Just because you're offended, it doesn't mean you're right.
Love Ricky Gervais. Observing that something exists is not the same as defending it. Literally everyone on the internet needs to understand this concept before they comment on anything ever. 100% agree. Super true. Legend has it the kid is still there talking to this day. This kid has a bright future reading disclaimers on radio. That's funny, man. All in all, man, like I said, Jordan Peterson is a character in this world that I really do appreciate. I really do like to listen to what he has to say. I really do like to, the word I'm about to say is important, listen to what he has to say. It's something that a lot of people don't do nowadays. Nonetheless, I like the debate. In my mind, everything that I've seen, everybody who tends to oppose Jordan Peterson, I feel like it's very emotional. And that's something that I've noticed. So, all in all, man, I really like these Jordan Peterson videos. I hope you guys too. This was a fun one. Thank you for stopping by, checking out the channel, slapping your gooch, and hitting the subscribe button. And I will see you, you beautiful bastard, in the next one. Peace!